Welcome back to another video, you guys. Sorry about the lighting, but it is what it is. I just wanted to do a quick intro so that way we can kind of go over a few things. The ending of the last video and the beginning of this video are pretty close together, but I have not filmed for over a month, maybe a month and a half. So my room looks a bit different, so I will just walk you guys through some of the differences later with the voiceover. I'm sorry about the lighting, but I'll walk you through and let y'all know a bit more of kind of what happened and what's going on in life and in my room. Um, yeah, so let's get started with the weekend and let's enjoy, and we'll start back where we picked up from. How do I say that? We will start where we left off. No, we will pick up where we left off last time. Apparently, my English language knowledge has also just disappeared a little bit. So, anyway, let's get going. All right, so let's start with the chaos. This is, I do believe, shortly after I pulled my bed back away from that back wall. So I actually had more space over there. I really did not like it being pinned up against that wall in particular. I don't mind it the way it is now, but you will see that at the end. However, as you can clearly see, this was me in the middle of attempting to clean my room. And a short break from Mom, and then you can clearly see the blanket chair is hot and active. I'm pretty sure that's a mac and cheese cup on top of there as well, so hooray for me. And then here I am to give you guys more information. Turns out I actually don't speak, but you guys can kind of get a clear view of the closet. I put in an extra hanging bar, so it actually attaches to the very top bar, and then clearly just, a second hanging area. And then the end of the bed looks awful, but it's just full of blankets, and yeah. I am simply exhausted, just exhausted, so. But I am gonna get ready, run my stuff to the storage unit. It feels so good just to have that stuff cleaned out. And then I'm gonna go see my best friend, and I'm gonna meet my little nephew and baby Snuggles. So, literally trying to soak up energy, any last bit of energy that I have. I have come to the conclusion that this is going to be a tad jumpy and not necessarily a perfect storyline, but you can get a better understanding of how my closet functioned. And then I got these storage steps for the cats because Buster jumped off the fence and hurt his knee. And that is still just the bane of my existence, but this of all things, this really got to me. I had to call maintenance. So that was a fun time, and here we are, folding more laundry. Yeah, about that cockroach or June bug, whatever it was, a stink bug. It was big and brown, and thankfully it was dead. But I did call the head office for my storage unit, and I had them bring down a broom and a dustpan or whatever it is. That way I would not have to deal with it. And thank God, two very sweet employees came out and took care of it for me. So, shout out to y'all if you ever end up watching this. You probably don't even remember, but I appreciate you. So, interesting enough, I actually love filming myself when I am folding laundry because it is like almost a, what's it called, body doubling in ADHD. So, it helps me kind of focus and just get through. However, I was not allowing myself to film very many of my folding sessions, if you want to call it that, simply due to, well, I guess the best way you could put it is phone storage, because I film a lot and I talk a lot and I audio process things, or excuse me, verbally process things. And I hate to cut my rambles short, so it ends up being either longer videos or just more to cut out, so it is what it is. I don't mind. A lot of the times I will start my clips with, most of this will get cut out, so bought myself a lot more extra storage on my phone so that way I could just film to my heart's content. I am really hoping that it works when I go to edit, or excuse me, get this video uploaded. As I am finally getting to editing this, it is May 31st, 2023. It has been a wild, very wild ride. At the beginning of this video, I was working with a team of 4 other people, or excuse me, 3 other people. And then I, at this point in time, was running an entire salon by myself. No help. Plenty of support from the uppers if I needed anything, but still, the exhaustion is real. And of course, Tuna and Pat head pats, head scratches. Not, anyway. Kitty Lovins and Tuna is definitely the best way to start the day, so I highly recommend. Y'all, I cannot believe that my baby is going to be 13 here in just a few months. So I try and soak up as many of these sweet moments that I can with him. I get these little, can't remember what the brand is, but they are tuna and salmon in water, so perfect little treat for a perfect little kitty. Mission success. I have brushed my teeth. Need to wipe my face off or do something. Probably go wash my face here in a second, but I need to collect all of the laundry and start that. So the list is getting smaller, which is it's looking very doable for one day. I really gotta start doing this, but like I freaking hate it. Anyway, mission success. I am going to start trying to look at the camera because it's just, you know, a central place to look. Anyway, we will be doing a lot of voiceover in this, so I hope you don't get too sick of my voice. But this is pretty much mid-clean, and that dresser top, as well as this one, has been, that's definitely the cleanest it'll get for a while. But like I say later on, that is the only place I am allowing myself to doom pile these days. Clearly, there are a few doom piles over there, but thankfully, with this whole maneuver of the bed and whatnot, it was cleaned up. And then I just had my little workout box, and pretty much that's what all the blankets sat on. And there I'm showing you how much space. I'm not sure why I decided to use the tray. But, yep, there's the floor. 30 years of kids in it. It sounds so ridiculous to say, but I can literally just move my bed back. It's not permanent. Kind of just want to ask myself, like, what's the holdup? But also, like, just from doing the vacuuming and moving everything around so far, my back hurts, but I have multiple days off. So if I do it today, pretty much by the time I go to bed tonight in like 5 hours. And the plan was set in motion. I keep telling myself if I don't do it and I don't try, I won't know. And I keep telling myself that over and over. Because I just really need a change. And I can't change my hair, so my bed has to be moved. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm just hoping that I don't have to move anything besides the bed, you know. And I have to move everything underneath it. So, yeah. Just show you the before, and then I'll show you the after. So here's the side before. Like I said, realness yet again. This is my change and random bathroom stuff. Yeah, that is my makeup and then my first main side table drawer. Yeah. It is super cute like this, but I have to know. I just have to. And just so I don't forget. Now this is just pure insanity. That corner is completely full. Bed is good. And I realized that there's no bars on that side. Do I feel ridiculous? Yes. Yes, I do. My leg is falling asleep. So that means something is being pinched. Hold on. Okay, the bed. I can see it already. I'm going to be switching this way, so that way this is at the end of the bed. That way there's access to the window. I do not want to cut the window off. That was one of the only things holding me back from putting the bed the other way, but oh well. And then here is the after for this side of the room. I'm very decently surprised with how much space I have at the end of the bed. And it seems to have just completely opened up my room. And I also really like having the railing right there, so that way it kind of blocks that space off. It is an absolute stinking mess, but it's okay. I hope this is slow enough. I did some of my shoes, and it looks so much better. So half of that has been dusted, which is so much needed. That needs to get washed up. That needs to get hung back up. And I genuinely just don't want to get back on the floor and do that, but oh well. So I wouldn't say that I am exhausted, but I will say that I feel places of my body that I really don't like, and that it hurts. It hurts. But for the most part, everything is looking really good. I'm excited. I'm really enjoying having access to everything. Those are the right words. Anyway, I'll show you guys just, what's going on. Hey y'all, so glad my phone started recording, but anyway, I am exhausted. I went to bed last night around 1:30. I had to wait until my sheets and all that were done washing. Thankfully, I was able to just kind of put a mishmash of blankets on my bed last night and call it good. Most of it's fine, but later when I get back home, we will reevaluate that when I get back home. Yeah. So far though, last night I slept really good, so I think the magnetic positioning that I'm in is good for me. Some of you might think that's dorky, but we really gotta be more in tune with like the flow, the chi, the energy. Just everything has its own wavelength. Do I have a bigger one? I have the receipts, and I went in, did my thing, did not take very long. So now all I have to do is decide if I want tacos or taco time. I am so excited, y'all. I got my bed moved finally. I'm genuinely like thrilled. I have been wanting to move my bed for a very long time, and I'm so grateful that I finally was able to. And now I have a lot of mess at the end of my bed, which is kind of exciting, but also not. The exciting part is that it is an isolated mess. The not exciting part is the fact that I still have to go clean it. So, by the way, my high school boyfriend made this for me. It's very dusty because it's been a decoration for a long time. But it's grizzly caps welded together and then painted clearly as a rose. And it's beautiful. It's so cheesy, but I love it. You can kind of see the grizzly wintergreen. And yes, he did chew. Yeah, I know it's gross, but oh well. Oh. I'm starting to think that if I don't go into a new salon soon, I'm going to be so used to being alone that I'm not even going to be able to work with anybody else. So pretty much what had happened was half of my salon walked out due to personal reasons and half walked out to being spiteful. and quite frankly rude. They had their own reasons, and I will respect them. However, I do not agree with them, and I think that there were some things that happened that were pretty, interesting. However, I forgive, and it is what it is, but some friendships will just, or forever broken in that process, and it was a lot to deal with mentally, and then taking over the salon and being by myself was also just a lot. So at this point in time, it had been 2.5 months, and I was getting pretty sick of it, of being alone and just not having the in-person support that I felt and know that, I needed. And it's not necessarily, I don't think anybody, my face, I was watching a show. I don't think it's possible for a lot of people to be able to run an entire salon by themselves. So I pat myself on the back, but at the same token, I see what it is, and I'm very grateful that I finally got myself out of that situation. I absolutely adore the company that I was blessed to be able to work with for the past couple of years. However, there had been multiple occasions that I should have stood up for myself and left, not due to the company itself, but honestly due to my coworkers around me. However, like I said about the other ones, you know, I forgive for the most part. God will have to do the rest of that, because can't steal from me, and then, you know, I don't tolerate that. Anyway, yep, at this point in time, I was getting myself ready to throw my resignation through the mail and just get it done and over with. And thankfully, I ended up, me counting, I cannot remember for the life of me. I'm pretty sure it was Sam and Colby. But yes, shortly after this, I did end up putting my resignation in, lovingly, of course. And yesterday, actually, I went in, turned in my key, and I am no longer. Oh, there it goes. There's the. Yep, I'm pretty sure I was watching Sam and Colby, but I am no longer affiliated with my company, at least for now. I let them know that in the future, if there was any possibility, that I am completely open to it. And you could probably tell my voice is getting a little raspy from talking a lot, but I don't mind. I hope you don't mind. At the end of the day, I think that the coworkers that I had, no matter the issues we had, personal or work-wise or whatever it was, we all stood up for each other and took care of each other. So I even through some of the bad parts, I can say I'm very grateful. So I am also very grateful and blessed that I can say that. However, I will say there are plenty of times that I wanted to walk out on the spot simply due to the behavior of others around me. But in life and being an adult, it's not necessarily something that you can just up and do all of the time. So I made a decision to save up a little bit of just extra, so that way I could just take a stinking break, get myself mentally back on track, and then get myself back out in the game. I currently do not have any places that I am working or have an application in, which is honestly very scary. However, with my health very much so declining, it is not something that I can necessarily wait for or mess around with anymore. The stress of being alone is simply too stinking much for one person, and I will not put myself through that anymore, and very proud that I have officially walked away. But you may or may not hear me talk about being currently in that company, so. Local Dollar Tree. Oh, we just scored a huge jackpot right here. Look at all these. That's my favorite. Well, I got this, so that will go away. Anyway, hi. So yeah, I've got the blanket bin finally, so I can put some extra blankets and whatnot away. And then I can finally get, what are those called, puzzles put away. And that is still just a mess, but it's kind of okay because that's like the only place I allow myself to doom pile anymore. Besides down here. But that is mainly blankets and stuffed animals. Anyway. That's what we're dealing with. Watching Mikey and Anthony. Down here is working out pretty well. I ended up getting rid of some of my shoes. Not as many as I'd like to, but it's a start. So far, everything has been working out very well, storage-wise. So that's nice, but I also officially put my resignation in. It's very bittersweet. It's very bittersweet.
Piece of fish cake, honey.